keep it 100 because it's time for Hub's Huddle Podcast. Listen to the man that talks sports from football to basketball 24/7, 365. He is known as the average Joe that knows more than average about sports.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Hub.
What's up, everybody? It is Saturday night, November 23rd, 2019. A few more days to Turkey Day, man. It's almost Thanksgiving, which means the seasons are changing. It's almost Christmas time. It's almost time to come out of your wallet. So I'm here today, man, help you guys out a little bit, give you my picks for Week 12, National Football League. A couple of good matchups, man. That's going down this weekend. Start off with it first. The Colts, they took on the Texans on Thursday night. I had picked the Colts, man, on my Instagram. If you guys follow me, and on Facebook, I had picked the Colts. I just thought they had the better team. But the Texans has the better quarterback. So hey, it is what it is, man. The Texans, man, they moved on to 7-4, and they take over the AFC South division for now. And the Colts dropped to 6-5. But a little bit about last week, man. Had a good week last week, y'all. I went 10-4, so it was a lot better than the week before. I think went like 4 and whatever, man. But only got like 4 of the games right. Like win loss wise. But I moved on last week to 10-4. That brings my season total up to 98, 63-1. So looking at this week 12, but before we get started, man, we got a bunch of news, man. Myles Garrett, he tried to appeal his indefinite suspension. Now, I remember I talked to you guys last week, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm not blaming him 100%, but like the quarterback, Mason Rudolph had a play in that, and he got fined. He got fined like $50,000. That's what I thought he should have got. I didn't think he should got like a suspension. I thought Myles Garrett should have got a suspension. But he tried to appeal his suspension, and it didn't go through. He tried to say that Mason Rudolph used a racial slur. My thing is this, man. If you're gonna pull a race card, man, you should have said it. The actual, like, after the game, like when you was in the locker room, instead of saying that, what you did was foolish. You should have came out and just said it then. Don't wait a whole week later when you go to appeal to bring this up, to say this is what he said to make me go off the way I went off. You should have said that, man, that night. You should have been saying that, on the field, going off the field, they moving you off the field or whatever. You should have said in the locker room when you was talking to reporters and things like that. But it is what it is, man. He's suspended indefinitely. Probably see him next year sometime. Amazing talent. Hopefully get his stuff together and he get back on the field. And also, man, a bunch of, Antonio Brown, news and rumors and, we know that he's countersuing Brittany Taylor for basically just like slandering him, basically, like preventing him from working, which basically it is, because that whole situation is the reason why he's not in the National Football League right now on a team. But who knows what's going to shake out with that? He's been retweeting, a bunch of fans. He's been retweeting himself in the Eagles jersey that Eagles fans have tweeted to him. He's retweeting stuff from Patriots fans. The Patriots fans, been tweeting at him. And also, man, Patriots fans started a petition. They started a petition to Robert Kraft to get Antonio Brown back. And the crazy part is, man, it was a rumor, basically like they had kicked the tires on Antonio Brown, and Tom Curran up in Boston comes out and say, they're not interested in him. Jeff Howe followed up. I had no problems with Jeff Howe. He's pretty cool, straightforward guy. But Tom Curran, in my opinion, man, he's so like up and down. Like, I really don't believe what he says. He's the same dude that said, they wasn't going to sign Antonio Brown back in, the beginning of September, and they end up signing him, man, like a day later or, like a couple hours later or whatever. But it is what it is, man. We'll get to see what's going to happen. I think, from what I'm hearing, just a little birdie, man. About just stick around for this week. You might hear some news on Mr. Antonio Brown. So keep all that posted, man. And if you look at New England this week, man, they got the Cowboys coming in, and they're shorthanded at receiver. And Tom Brady hasn't been the happiest guy since Antonio Brown left the team. So, and I don't blame him. They had an instant connection when he was there. And then if you look at him now, man, a lot of guys aren't getting open. I don't know, man. New England needs like a team. I don't feel like, I had picked them, of course, I'm a Patriots fan. I had picked them to go to Super Bowl and win. I had them playing Dallas in the Super Bowl, actually. So this is probably like, for me, this is like my Super Bowl, like preview matchup, what I predicted, but they're missing a legitimate weapon. And I'll get into that later when I go and, with my picks. But I'm going to get started with these picks. Starting off with the Broncos. They're traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Man. This right here is a 1:00 game, man. New Era Field. The Bills, man, listen. Josh Allen been playing pretty well. What he did last week against the Dolphins, he started running the ball a little bit more, better with the passing. He looking like might be one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC East. He's out playing Brady right now. You know what? You got to tip your hat, man. And I know a lot of Patriots fans don't want to hear that, but like I've been saying from day one, man, I like to keep it 100 when it comes to the Patriots. Even though I'm a Patriots fan, I like to keep it 100. I can't just sit up here and not recognize anybody else. That's a playing, stellar in the National Football League. But the Bills, man, they're looking pretty good, man. They are 7-3. The Broncos are coming in at 3-7. Bottom line, man, like I said, I like the quarterback play of the Bills. Denver does have a tight, deep defense still, pass rush. But offensively, I don't see them getting anything done. I see the Bills putting the clamps on them, and I think it's going to be a close game, but a low-scoring game. It's not going to be nothing outrageous. I don't think Buffalo's going to blow the doors off these guys. But I like Buffalo, man, offensively and defensively, better than what the Broncos are bringing in. But I like the Bills 20-16, so they'll move on to 8-3. And hang on to that wild card, in the AFC. Next up, we got the 2-8 Giants, man. They're traveling to Chicago, who are 4-6. Chicago Bears at Soldier Field, man, legendary Soldier Field. Man, listen, Chicago, man, they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback. And for weeks, I was thinking maybe it's going to be Cam, like they make a trade for Cam in offseason, but now you look at Kyle Allen, and it's like he ain't really getting it done in Carolina like he was weeks ago when we thought like, oh, man, this dude's balling. The Giants, man, they're still up and down. Saquon is not, 100% healthy. He's not, it's like one of them years for him. He's having that year where he like can't get fully healthy. He's still battling injury, not 100%. Danny Dimes, hey, he's going to be good in the future, man, but he's showing a lot of ups and downs right now as well. They do get back Sterling Shepard, which could give him a boost in that passing game. The Bears, man, the Bears got nice defense, man. If they just had a quarterback, they would be so much better than what they are, man. They're 4-6, man. They would be so much better. If they had a quarterback, they'd probably be the top team in that in the NFC North, man. One of the best teams in the NFC if they had a quarterback. But this game right here, like I said, man, the Giants are pretty much done. The Bears are scrapping. I like Chicago, another close one, man. I think the defense is going to carry Chicago as always, man. I like I like the Bears 20-17 over the Giants. Next up, AFC North divisional game. Snooze fest. Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to Paul Brown Stadium to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers are 5-5. Bengals are 0-10. That's all I gotta say. I don't think Juju's playing. I don't think Connor's playing. So Steelers going to win off the strength of their defense. Like, it's going to be more like, I see like a 17 to like 10 type of game. Steelers winning. They're moving on to 6-5 in my opinion. It's just like the Bengals are done. I mean, like, I hope they don't go 0-16, but the way it's looking, they just might. I mean, they're just melting it in. They're kind of like what the Dolphins are doing pretty much too. But I like the Steelers though, man. I like them 17-10, low scoring game, just off the strength of the Steelers defense. Mason Rudolph ain't the guy. I guess next year when Ben comes back, they should be a little bit better, and they get Juju healthy, James Conner healthy, especially that defense emerging, man. They're going to be a problem next season. I'm not, they might get into like a wild card, but I don't expect them to do any damage getting into the playoffs. But, I mean, it's still possible for them to snag a wild card. So, I mean, they're going to have like, Kansas City, or the Chargers. The Kansas City going to get that 4th seed. Or 3rd seed, depending on how things shake out between them and the Texans. But they do own that. I believe they do own the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. But just looking at it overall, man, like, Steelers, it just ain't their year. Next up, man, we got the Miami Dolphins traveling to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Dolphins are walking in at 2-8, taking on the 4-6 Cleveland Browns. So no Myles Garrett, of course. I talked about it earlier. Dolphins is a wreck too. I mean, the Browns gonna win. I think the Browns win by like 10, like 27-17. Dolphins just like the Bengals, man. They're melting it in. Pretty much like tanking. I don't know what they're tanking. Are they still tanking for Tua? Who knows? He had that injury. Man, it was very unfortunate last week, the hip, but they said he's going to recover 100% better. So, he's going to be better. So I don't know if that's going to still affect like his draft, status, like what slot would he fall into. But, so it's nothing in comparison to what Bo Jackson had, because apparently like Bo Jackson played on it long enough to, make it worse. And Tua got his surgery done and, going to recover to help, so he can continue on his career. But as far as this game goes, man, like I said, man, I like the Browns, man, defensively, offensively. They're just better than what the Dolphins are. So, I mean, it might just be a blowout up there in Cleveland. But I like the Browns, though, 27-17. Next up, we got the Falcons at home. They're 3-7, welcoming in the 3-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You guys know I'm not a big fan of neither one of these quarterbacks. But I got to give it to the Falcons though, man. They outscored, the top 2 teams in the NFC South. Was it like 55-12 on the road? Maybe it's them playing at home is a problem. I don't know, but but this is their first of a 2-game homestand. They got the Buccaneers tomorrow, and then they welcome in the Saints on Thanksgiving night. So I mean, I like the Falcons. I mean, they beat Carolina last week. They beat the Saints 2 weeks ago. And they put up numbers. Maybe that stuff carry over, hopefully, because I'm putting Calvin Ridley in my DraftKings. So I'm going to need a touchdown from Matt Ryan to Calvin Ridley to, be asking for a little bit more, but I'll expect one. But as far as this game go, man, it's going to be like a touchdown game. I like it like a 34-27. I think, Atlanta's going to put up some points. And so is Tampa. But it's just that, like I said, like, man, Winston and B, man, he's going to give up, some gifts, man. And that Atlanta secondary is coming around again. They're starting to play, their type of football that they were playing when they were healthy. So like I said, man, I don't trust Winston. I don't trust Matt Ryan, but I trust Matt Ryan a little bit more than what I trust, Winston. And I'm picking Atlanta in this one, 34-27. Next up, another NFC South divisional game. You got the both of the teams that the that the Falcons beat the past 2 weeks. You got the Saints at home. They're 8-2, welcoming in the Panthers at 5-5. And man, you know what? The Panthers, man. You know, we thought Kyle Allen was the next in line, man. But it just shows more and more now. This team is just all Christian McCaffrey, and they're missing Cam. They need to get Cam back, get him back, healthy next season. I was thinking Cam might get traded to like somewhere like Chicago, like a team that needs a quarterback. I thought Kyle Allen was going to be the future, but these past couple weeks, man, we've been like, wow, this dude has dropped. I don't know if he was reading the press, about him too much or what. I don't know. But the Saints, man, listen, they got top 5 defense in the league. And, Cameron Jordan's been playing, Cameron Jordan has been balling. He got to be a defensive player, of the year candidate. This dude has been playing well. And now we just got to see Drew Brees get, fully back into the swing of things. Alvin Kamara's, get him going. I think this is the perfect game for them. They got to start putting it together, to maintain this, top seed in the NFC. And this is where they gotta start rolling, man. I know, Carolina got Christian McCaffrey balling. And I think if the Panthers had a better record, we might be talking about Christian McCaffrey in the MVP race. Like him and Dalvin Cook, the top 2 running backs in the entire league this year. Both of them dudes is balling respectively for their teams. This game though, man, I like the Saints. I think the Saints come up big, and then they head into that rematch on Thanksgiving night against the Falcons. I like the Saints here, 27-13 over the Panthers. Next up, Trap Game Central. Got the Seattle Seahawks, man. They're going to Lincoln Financial Field. They are 8-2, taking on the 5-5 Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this right here, man, they got Vegas got the Eagles as the favorite. And what's crazy? Like, this is like a trap game because I can really see Philly winning, and but Seattle is the better team overall. They got the better quarterback, receivers are better. I'm not sure if Conley's playing tomorrow, but they got a good rush. The Eagles got a heck of a pass rush. You see what they did to Tom Brady last week. Their secondary starting to play a little bit better than what they were in the beginning of the season. Them guys are healthy. But offensively, man, them wide receivers, man, woof. Man, dudes, man, they just banging on Nelson Aguilar, man. I know he dropped that pass in the end zone last week. They could have sent that game possibly in the overtime. Like I was telling folks, man, I'm like, listen, man, that dude made a key catch on that same drive on it was like a 3rd and 10 or something like that. He made a key catch on that. It's just unfortunate he didn't catch the ball. A lot of rumors about the burner account that he might have, and he coming out saying it wasn't him. It's just a lot of stuff going on in Philadelphia, man. They'll be without their tackle, Lane Johnson, which is a huge blow for that line, man, and what they like to do. And also, man, it's like Jordan Howard might not play tomorrow. And also either Aguilar or Alshon Jeffrey's not going to play tomorrow. Man, listen. Like I said, man, this is one of them games where, I live in this Philadelphia area, and this is one of those games where everybody's doubting them to lose. They're picking them to lose, and they end up winning the game. And that's the crazy part. That's what makes my pick so I'm on the fence. I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game tomorrow, but I'm not picking them to win. I'm picking Seattle because they're the better team. But the thing, when they brought out the whole lines for this game, and people were like, oh, they got Philly as the favorite, it's crazy. And I was like, well, you gotta think about it. This was supposed to be the 8 o'clock game. This got flexed out for the Packers and 49ers. That's going to be tomorrow night instead of Philly and Seattle. And you look at the time of day, they didn't put this as the 4 o'clock game because you got New England and you got the Cowboys. So that's like the game of the week, America's game of the week. So they put Philadelphia and Seattle at the 1 o'clock game. If you think about 1 o'clock game, 1 o'clock Seattle time is 10 a.m. So they're going to be 10 a.m. rolling out on the football field. But I think Seattle was already in Philadelphia early today, or they might have got in, last night. They got clips of them. I was looking at Josh Gordon on Instagram, and they were out like early in the day, like on the field, just I guess getting the feel or whatever. But messy weather tomorrow, possibly like rain. Hey, like. This right here, man. Wow. This gotta be a game, man. If Philly's gonna win this game, it gotta be on the strength of their defense for one. You gotta contain Russell Wilson, which is hard to do. Russ is playing at a high level this year. He's on the MVP level. He is my pick for MVP. And I know Lamar Jackson is balling, but Russ is doing some incredible things at the quarterback position, throwing and running, doing what he do week in and week out. And this dude hasn't missed a game in I don't know how long. Has he ever missed a game? I'm not sure. I know he got like a streak going, but it's either he never missed a game or he's on like this crazy streak where he plays so many consecutive games. But like I said, man, Russell Wilson is balling this year. If Philly's going to win, they're going to have to keep these guys, keep Russell Wilson intact, contain, DK Metcalf, who's balling as a rookie. I'm not sure what Josh Gordon going to bring to the table, so, and Tyler Lockett, we don't know what his status is going to be. Is he going to play or not? I know he got hurt in that at a 49ers game, but I just like Seattle. I like them 27-23. I just think, they're the better team overall. Some things in Carson Wentz's games I like to see him, work on. And that's more like, dumping off, like when you got the check down, man, you check down to your running back, and stop staring down your receiver before you throw it. Guys are going to eventually, I could see it from when I'm watching film and when I'm watching their games like live. I'm like, this dude's like looking down the receiver. You could tell where he's going. He just got to get better with that. He's still a good quarterback. I wouldn't say, unlike what these Philadelphia fans have been saying all week since when they lost on Sunday, they've been calling Wentz a bum. These fans are harsh, man. And the crazy part is, man, it's like guys like McNabb is like, I've seen this before. It's crazy. That's why, like living in this area, man, it's just hilarious, man. Listen to that radio from time to time. But this game tomorrow, man, I'm picking Seattle. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly won. Like, it wouldn't be like a shock. But I'm picking Seattle because they're the better team overall, man. I'm picking Seattle 27-23 over Philadelphia. Next up, we got the cheapest tickets on the entire day. I think these tickets was going for like $4 or something like that last time I checked. You got the 3-6 Lions, man, traveling to FedEx Field to take on the 1-9 Washington Redskins. Oh man, Dwayne Haskins, rookie, thrown in there. Jeff Driscoll on the other side for the Lions. He played actually pretty good last week, man. I know they lost to the Cowboys, man, but he looking pretty good. You gotta check on the status of Trey Flowers as well. But hey, listen. Oh, man, they got a concussion last week. So, this is another snooze fest. Like, if you guys in that area looking for something to do tomorrow, you can go to the game for like $4. But as far as the game goes, man, the Lions are just better than what the Redskins are. I like the Lions, man, 24-17. Next up, we got the Oakland Raiders traveling to MetLife to take on the New York Jets. Man, the Raiders, man, they're 6-4. The Jets are 3-7. This is, I like the Jets defense, man. That's about it. Like, Darnold, he's okay, but I like what Gruden's doing with the Raiders. Like turn these dudes around, man. These dudes might be they gonna end up a playoff team, man. You know, hey, I like the Raiders, man. You give me the Raiders. I like their running back. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get off tomorrow, like how he's been doing every week, because the Jets' defense is pretty stout against the run. You know, and I like I like that kid Adams, man. For the Jets, that boy can ball, man. But this game right here, man, I like Oakland. Give me Oakland, man. 20-16 over the Jets. I just think Oakland's a better team overall, better offense. Jets got the better defense. Big test for Derek Carr tomorrow. See how he fare against this Jets defense. But when it comes down to coaching, I like Gruden over Gase, so I'm picking the Raiders. Next up, we got an AFC South divisional game with the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in at 4-6, take on the Tennessee Titans at 5-5. Man, here we go. Now this game right here, man. Look, Nick Foles is back. Ryan Tannehill, still starting for the Titans. Now, what this is going to come down to is the Titans' run game. We got to see a lot of Derrick Henry tomorrow. That Jaguars defense, their run defense is not good against the run. I expect to see Derrick Henry have a monster game tomorrow against the Jaguars. That's why I put him in my DraftKings too. Hey, I'm trying to come up this week. But as far as this game go, home game for the Titans. I think a big game. A big game out of Derrick Henry. Give me a score 24-17. Titans over the Jaguars. Next up, got America's game of the week. Dallas Cowboys coming in at 6-4 to take on the New England Patriots at 9-1. Now, I'm gonna talk about this game for a minute. This game was real tough for me to pick. Like, y'all know I'm a Patriots fan. I like to keep it 100 though, but across the board. Man, this game has been something I've been mauling with just from about like Wednesday on. Like I've been like thinking about it. Like I've been, telling the guys I talk to, other Patriots fans I talk to. I'm like, man, this might be a loss, man. Like, the way I'm feeling, I'm not like 100% like confident in them this week to get the job done. Like, and it's like because I see where a lot of the flaws are, and the Cowboys, they got good defense and they can rush the passer. Michael Bennett, them boys, man, Lawrence, man, them dudes, man, listen, they can come in and put some heat on Tom Brady. And they already put Brady on the injury reports and he's questionable for tomorrow. We all know he's gonna play. I mean, he gotta be, basically like Brady ain't gonna, for him not to play in the game. He's basically he ain't gonna be able to. He's not gonna be able to walk. That's what it is. But I look at what they're doing on offense, and that's been my biggest concern, man, since the Buffalo game, and I've been beating on it every single week. And I'm glad folks are starting to realize and starting to see like what I've been saying since the Buffalo game. I'm like, listen. They don't have nobody on off them offensive receivers. They don't have anybody that can get open, and they don't have anybody that nobody fears on a team. Like I was talking about last week, man. I was like, you see, they had Gronk, and I like to keep it, 100. Like Gronk hasn't been Gronk in about 3 years when he was there, but Gronk still commanded that whole. Respect to the defense where I'm gonna draw a double and I'm gonna open up the underneath for Julian Edelman. Like they don't have that anymore. They don't have nobody on their offense where defenses are like in fear of like, yo, this dude is gonna come out here and single handedly beat us down. Like if we don't double him, now they're like, okay, we can double Edelman. And, like, who you going to throw to now, Tom? You got, Myers who don't run the correct routes. N'Keal Harry, we don't know what he's going to be. And it's too much to ask for a rookie to, to be, be like the best guy on the field, man. That's going to have to come, in time. Mohamed Sanu, he's out tomorrow pretty much. Like he got supposedly like a high ankle sprain, so he might be out for a few weeks. Philip Dorsett, he got a concussion. Even if he was playing, he's not a threat. I mean, yeah, he's a speedy guy, but he's no threat. Ben Watson, he's 108. Your main two weapons is Edelman and James White. New England can't run the ball. Yeah, they're getting back wind, but I don't know if that's going to correct the whole offensive line as a whole. It's going to correct that one side that Newhouse was in because Newhouse was bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been, on this whole thing all week, and I was like, man, they might lose. But then I'm thinking on the other end, I'm like, the Cowboys coming in, Dak Prescott. Now, I've been high on Dak, but I like New England's defense a heck of a lot better than what I like Dallas offense. I know Dallas got the number one offense coming in. New England got the number one defense coming in. So it's like, okay, we're looking at it like this. I can see Dak throwing a couple picks, just like I can see Brady getting hammered a couple times by that Cowboys front rush. But I think it's going to be some key turnovers in this game that's going to tell the tale of this game, man. I know it's supposed to be messy weather, might be rainy, and that spells for running the ball. Maybe with, win back, they get back to running the ball. My thing is for the Patriots defense is they're going to have to stop Zeke. Bottom line, like I like the matchup, Cowboys receivers against the Patriots secondary. I like those matchups. What I don't like is them running the football down New England's throat with Philadelphia started off doing, but then they stopped once, New England made an adjustment and Philly saw the adjustment and they just decided not to run anymore, which boggles my mind. We seen Baltimore run all over Philadelphia. Zeke is a heck of a lot better running back than what Mark Ingram is. We seen Nick Chubb run all over New England. Zeke Elliott is a better running back than Nick Chubb. And this is where we're going at. Like, the main thing for Dallas tomorrow is to commit to the run, but I don't think they're going to commit to the run fully. I think they're going to try to put Dak on display, and that's where the issues are going to happen. That's where the turnovers are going to happen. And that's how I see New England winning this game tomorrow. Off of that, like, Dallas run the ball and they stick to the run. You give Zeke 25 to 30 carries, man. That's it. They're going to beat the Patriots. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to come down to coaching. Like, I just look at, you got Belichick versus Garrett. I'm taking Belichick every day, twice on Sunday. And this is my Super Bowl pick. Like, I picked the Dallas Cowboys versus the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl in Miami in February. So this right here could be your Super Bowl preview. Because, like, on paper, the Cowboys is a heck of a team. It's just that when it comes down to coaching, it's like, that's the Achilles heel. And Jason Garrett is there because he's Jerry Jones's yes man. Bottom line, like, Jerry can do whatever he wants with the team, and Jason Garrett is not going to, say anything. Like, he's cool with everything. He's going to sit there and clap. Like, Jerry Jones won't go get a strong-minded coach that will be like, listen, you need to go sit down. He don't want, another, Parcells around there. And then him coming out this week talking about, yeah, Belichick asked me for, a job. Talking about don't forget about him back in, the 90s or whatever. He couldn't handle coach like Bill. Come on now. Because Bill wants to run the show. Bill's the GM and the coach. He ain't going to sit back here and let Jerry be GM and dictate what's going on. Nah. But, like I said, man, this game, if the Cowboys' key to win is running the ball with Zeke and running it effectively, you can run on New England's defense. It's the fact is are they going to do it? Are they going to commit to the run, or are they going to try to showcase off Dak and say, oh, yeah, he deserves to be in the MVP race? That's where the trouble's going to come. That's where the turnover's going to come. That's when this New England's defense is going to get after it, and they're going to get a couple interceptions. That's why I'm picking New England. Like I've been mauling over this all week long. Like, yo, New England could possibly lose this game, and you know everybody talk about the streak at home. You know, the record against NFC opponents and all this stuff. Like, nobody cares about that when it comes to Sunday, man. Like, I'm looking at X's and O's, and I'm just like, the Cowboys should beat the Patriots if they decide to stick to the run and run the football. I don't think they will, because history has shown week in and week out that they're going to end up trying to throw the ball and have Dak step back 40 times and try to throw. And that's where your problem's going to be at. Give me New England 24-21 over the Cowboys. Next up, Sunday Night Football. We have the Green Bay Packers coming in at 8-2, taking on the 9-1 San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. This is going to be a good game. See, yo, we got so many good games this week, y'all. Like, you got Seattle and Philly's going to be a good game. Patriots Cowboys going to be a good game. Packers 49ers going to be a good game. I'm on the fence about the Monday night game, the Ravens and you know, the Rams. But this Packers and 49ers game is going to be good, man. We are in for a treat tomorrow, y'all. I mean, it's a bunch of good games, man. This is like, yo, you get, you know, George Kittle got to be back tomorrow for Jimmy G, man, for them to get this together, man. The Packers are, listen, yeah, they slipped up in, you know, against the Chargers in LA, but then they came out and beat up on, you know, the Panthers. You know, this is gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be a good game. But we gotta see what's going on with, you know, Kittle, Manuel Sanders. You know, these dudes good to go. 49ers got this game tomorrow, y'all. It's gonna be a good game though. Like, you know, Aaron Rodgers coming out here with his weapons, Adams, and you know they got a run game now. The defense is pretty good. That 49ers defense is bananas though. Bosa is balling, defense of the year candidate. You know, offensive, you know, defensive rookie of the year candidate. You know, man, that dude's balling, man. Jimmy Garoppolo could be better, but I think, you know, like, if he gets Emmanuel Sanders back and George Kittle back, he's gonna be a heck of a lot better than what he was last week. You know, I know, you know, they was in a dogfight, but both of their games against the Cardinals were dog fights. You know, Packers 49ers, classic NFC game. Like, this is like the way these two teams are good right now reminds you of, like, you know, like back then with like Favre going up against, you know, them 49ers teams, you know, like T.O. and, you know, that kind of stuff like that, man. It's like, wow. Favre, you know, coming up against, you know, like Steve Young, that kind of stuff, man. Back in, like, you know, like the 90s era, you know, hey. This game though, man, I like the Niners defense more so than I like, you know, the Packers defense. And if Emmanuel Sanders and Kittle's playing, I like the 49ers offense better than what I like the Packers. And they got two good running backs, man. They got Coleman and Burrito. I mean, you know, like, and you know the Packers, you know, they got a good running back too. Aaron Jones been balling. You know, Devontae Adams, wide receiver, balling. The weapons that you know Aaron Rodgers got, them dudes been balling. Plus you got Aaron Rodgers. But I like the 49ers though, man. I like them at home. You know, I think we're gonna see this matchup again in the playoffs somewhere down like the line in January. It's gonna be a good game. And, you know, depending on how things shake up, man, you never know where it could be at. I mean, because they're, you know, the Packers are 8-2, 49ers are 9-1. Say if the Packers win and they become, they become 9-2, and the 49ers become 9-2 as well. And say if they both end up with the same record end of the year, Packers gonna get the 1 seed. So you might see 49ers traveling in that, you know, like cold in that -3 degrees weather. Going up in Lambeau. You know, that's what I like about November football, y'all. This is big boy football. This is like, you know, like this is it. We start talking about and we start talking about the playoffs and like, yo, this team win, you need this team win, you need this team to lose, you need, this is where we at now. This dynamic for the next 2 months, this month and next month is going to be all talking about playoffs and seeding and where everything stands at. That's just like the whole New England thing. Like if they lose tomorrow to the Cowboys, they're going to be they're going to drop down to 2. If Baltimore wins on Monday night, they'll be the 1 seed. So, but just looking at it, man, I like the 49ers, man, in this wave up there in over there in Santa Clara. I like them to win tomorrow, man. I like them 27-24, close game, good game. I think it's gonna be one of those going down to the wire. It's gonna be a great game tomorrow. I can't wait for tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to Sunday Night Football. And that brings us down to our last game of the week, man. Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens, man, traveling to L.A., Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, take on the Rams. Ah, man. Now, this right here, man, the Rams, I don't know what the Rams are, man. They beat the Bears, but you got the Ravens coming in, Lamar Jackson, balling. You're going to have, Hollywood Brown, close to Hollywood, playing up there, playing in L.A., man. Man. This game, like I said, I don't know what the Rams are, man. Robert Woods' status is up in the air. Not sure if he's going to play or not. And also you got Eric Weddle. And it's like, he's talking about like, because he played for the Ravens last year. He says he's not going to give up any secrets. That's a lie. You know good and well. He's talking to guys, about how, different kind of schemes that the Ravens are running or whatever. And if he's not, man, there's something wrong. Then it's like, yo, dude, like, what side are you on? you don't play for the Ravens anymore. You give secrets, bro. But like I said, talent wise, man, look, Lamar Jackson's playing lights out. He's an MVP candidate. Mark Ingram's running the ball well this year. Baltimore got like a swag to him, man. And I like them over the Rams. Rams just seems like, I don't know. They just like, they're not a team that we looked at like a year ago and was like, oh man, the Rams, they look good. Like same thing with the Chiefs. It was like, oh yeah, the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs is like, Same thing with the Rams, like, You got the Rams, man. They 6-4. They're not even gonna win their division. They might not even make it in the playoffs. To be truthful, because the top 2 teams over there in that division, 49ers 1, and the Seahawks is 2. And if Seattle wins tomorrow, and if the 49ers end up losing to like the Packers on Sunday Night Football, then you got Seattle that moves up to like the 1 seed because they already beat them. And they're gonna have another matchup that's going determine what's what in that whole thing. But you look at, man, the Rams ain't the same anymore. Ravens is balling, and I see the Ravens winning tomorrow. So I got the Ravens, man, 26-17 over the Rams. The ends are week 12, National Football League. To go over these picks in the recap, I got the Bills over the Broncos, Bears over the Giants, Steelers over the Bengals, Browns over the Dolphins, Falcons over the Bucks, Saints over the Panthers, Seahawks over the Eagles, Redskins over the Lions. That Seahawks and Eagles game, like I said, I could see if the Eagles win tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, whenever this whole fan base in this area pretty much put them in doubt, they end up winning the game. They pull a rabbit out, and I can see that happening tomorrow. Even though they're pretty thin, don't know if Jordan Howard's going to play, and also Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar might not play as well. So, hey, but you never know. Anyway, Lions over the Redskins, Raiders over the Jets, Titans over the Jaguars. And I had Patriots over the Cowboys, and like I said in that one too, I can see the Cowboys winning only if they commit to running the ball. The guy gives Zeke 25, the 30 touches. They can't have Dak step back 40 times and pass. They do that against that defense, it's not going to work. The best bet is to run the ball and run the ball heavy. So that's why I end up picking New England, because I can see, them trying to put Dak on some type of like showcase again tomorrow, and that's not going to work. Then we got the Sunday night matchup, Niners over the Packers, and then our Monday night matchup, Ravens over the Rams. So that's it for my Week 12 picks. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thank you all for listening. Also, we got Deontay Wilder taking on Ortiz tonight. I'm rolling with the Bronze Bomber. Knocked this guy out within 6 rounds. I mean, they both hit hard. They're a bunch of haymakers. I ain't, not fully invested into that right now. But that's just my pick. But these are my picks for week 12 National Football League. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining. Also, I'll be back on Thursday for my second annual Thanksgiving Day special, talking about the 3 games, breaking them down, giving my picks on those 3 games, to kick off week 13 on Turkey Day. So, until then, man, continue to rock with this podcast. Thank you all for joining. If you on Instagram, hit me up. You can follow me on there at Hubs Huddle. Same thing with Twitter, it's Hubs Huddle. And on Facebook, it's Hubs Huddle. Make sure you like the page, send a comment, whatever. Talk to me. Let me know how I can improve the podcast. Let me know what I can include. We're going to start getting into NBA soon as well. The season is in, second month in. Still filling each other out. So we're going to start talking about that a little bit more as well. So keep rocking with me, man. Also, this podcast will be moving to Twitch pretty soon. So I'll keep you all posted. It'll be live video podcasts and live interaction with the fan base, so we can continue to rock, man. We could be live and we could just talk about topics, straight off the rip, man. But until next time, man, until Thursday, man, I'll catch you all. You all have a blessed week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy them games tomorrow, man. So until next time, man, it's your boy Hub and I'm out. Peace.